Okay, so we're going to get started again. There are 3 seats open for City Council. There are,
Four seats.
okay, 4 seats. Sure, I knew all of that. There are 4 seats open for City Council, and you see in front of you 4 people and the mayor. But the mayor's not running. He's actually got something he needs to read on behalf of one of the candidates. So we'll start with that, sir.
Thank you. I'm here tonight on behalf of Lisa Perry. Lisa was unable to attend this evening, and she asked me if I would offer her 2-minute introduction. I think it'll be less than that. Lisa Perry has been a 28-year member of council, and she has contributed greatly and served on numerous committees, including the Finance Committee that she has led for the last several years, and very successfully, as evidenced by our very fine treasury in Orange Village. She's also served as a liaison for the Parks and Rec Committee and working very diligently in the process of delivering our new dog park to the community. And she is running to retain her seat on council, and I am just her voice this evening. So thank you on behalf of Lisa Perry.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Okay, now we are going to get to the candidates that are actually with us this evening. Not that she is going to be excluded. We wanted to make sure that she had an opportunity to have a voice this evening in absentia. We are going to introduce James Boyle, Jeffrey Foster, Amanda Curlin, and Stacy Manila, who is a write-in candidate for this particular office as well. Each of you will have 2 minutes to make your opening statements, and then we have some questions from the community that we will pose to you with a 1 to 2 minute response. So we'll start down at the far end with Mr. Boyle, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Jim Boyle. I am fortunately married to probably the better candidate in the Boyle family that you heard from earlier, Dr. Rebecca Boyle, who is running for re-election for the school board. We are 20-year residents of Orange Village. We live on Fairview Drive and have lived there with our 2 kids since 2005. Both our kids are graduates of the Orange High School. My daughter Janie is a graduate of the University of Texas, 2-time athletic All-American there. Our son Johnny is a senior at Ohio State. By background, I am an attorney by trade. I practice municipal law. In my experience over the last 30 years, I have spent the vast majority of my time in public service. I served as a South Euclid City Councilman for 7.5 years. I served as an assistant county prosecutor under Stephanie Tubbs Jones for 5.5 years. I served as an assistant attorney general under 4 separate attorney generals under 2 separate political parties. I have experience on both the municipal, city, and state levels. I've also worked for Cuyahoga County, working under all 3 of the county executives, Executive Fitzgerald, Executive Budish, and Executive Ronayne. I'm currently working as a municipal lawyer in the city of Parma. In that capacity, what I do is I draft legislation, I handle questions, provide legal analysis for the community and for the specific departments that work there. When I was asked to run for this position, I gave it a lot of thought. And with the situation of our community and what was going on in our country, and I listened to my wife in terms of the school board, I really believe that public service is a noble profession. I was raised by 2 parents, both of whom served in public office. I was raised to believe that public servants are valuable people in our communities. Now they're under attack at times, but I believe that they are valuable members of the community, and I believe that I have something to offer on that level. I respectfully ask for your vote in November.
Thank you. Mr. Foster, sir.
Thank you for the people of Orange Village and the people that we serve for allowing me this opportunity. I was recently reminded that I've been a quiet leader most of my adult life. Orange represents many things to my family: safety, great services, diversity, and many green areas. for its residents and wildlife. Since 2005, my family has benefited greatly from such a warm embracing of the slice of Northeast Ohio. My 24 years in the military has allowed me to become a slow, steady, and purposeful thinking leader. This style has allowed me to make decisions objectively without preconceived notions. Being on council requires a similar style of leadership, but also requires a servant leader that listens to the people of the village and to take into account what is known to be true. I have used this style successfully while deployed with many different groups, countries, while working While working as a healthcare professional, I have managed millions of dollars between staff, hardware, and supplies. This has also served me well while designing medical devices to treat concussion that has received multiple patents. Looking forward, Orange Village will require a slow, steady, and purposeful approach when managing the future. In the future, I would like to see an increase in the use of our sports fields, solar energy, and EMS capacity. We can do all of this while protecting wildlife and the green foliage. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Gerland.
Hello, my name is Amanda Kurland, and I'm looking to once again serve the community on the Village Council. Thank you for being here today. I really appreciate seeing fellow residents who care about how the village is run. I have lived in Orange for 19 years and have been actively working for the community in one way or another since 2019. Through my role in the Finance Committee, I have kept a watchful eye on how our resources are allocated for the benefit of the village, creating an environment where families can thrive. When I was president of council, I had the honor to learn the nitty-gritty of how the village is run. In the last 6 years, I have several times walked all of Orange Village's neighborhoods and stopped at every voter's home. I've learned so much from the questions and opinions voiced by my neighbors. These conversations help bolster my conviction to work to ensure Orange continues to be the wonderful village where I want to live and raise my family. Being elected to once again serve on council will afford me the opportunity to work diligently with the rest of council, the mayor, and the staff of the village to ensure that our community remains safe, beautiful, and welcoming. My goals are simple: to maintain the residential character of our village by preserving natural spaces within Orange Village, to promote the viability of our police, fire, and service departments, making sure they have staff, equipment, and facilities they need to do their jobs, to remain dedicated to reliable services for our seniors in collaboration with our neighboring communities and Orange Senior Center. I would be honored to, again, serve on council and represent the needs of members of our community. If you have any questions or thoughts about what we can accomplish together, I encourage you to reach out. Let's engage in a conversation about the shared vision for Orange Village. I promise to be approachable, hardworking, and dedicated to serving your best interests. Together, we can ensure that Orange Village remains the beautiful home we all love. Thank you for your time, and I sincerely hope to earn your support as a member of Orange Village Council.
Thank you. Ms. Manila.
My name is Stacy Manila, and I've been a resident of Orange Village for the past 5 years. I'm running as a write-in candidate for Orange Village Council because I care deeply about our village, our community, and its future. My reason for coming to Orange Village, like many of you, was for its school system for my children, accessibility to major freeways, and being able to have a choice of living in a high-dense community or one less dense as provided in our U1 zoning class. My interest in local government grew in May of 2024 when the proposed zoning change was brought before council. After attending my first meeting, I revisited the upcoming meeting agenda for the meeting that had followed, and I couldn't understand why an ordinance was voted down. It reappeared on the next agenda. That moment sparked my active involvement. I began regularly attending council meetings and took a deeper dive into how our village operates and began reading up on the ordinances that shape it. I teamed up with other residents who, at those same meetings, shared the same concerns and began knocking on doors of neighbors, bringing to their attention this matter. Yes, I said I was knocking on doors. That time, I have committed to attending the council meetings on a twice-a-month basis. I am bringing a common sense approach grounded in accountability, integrity, and attention to detail, as well as collaboration. I believe in grassroots engagement and meeting our residents face to face, listening to your concerns, as evidenced by knocking on those doors.
Thank you all. We now have some questions from the. Oh. Okay, thank you. Now I have a few questions from the community that each of you will have up to 2 minutes to respond to. The first question comes with a very, you already heard it, it came to the school board candidates as well. With state legislative leaders actively calling public schools unsustainable, how do you plan to stand up for the Orange Public Schools, and what is your business with the legislative issues down in Columbus to support Orange Public Schools? And we'll start that question with Ms. Manila, please.
I believe in our public schools. My children attended the public schools. I believe that my tax dollars are being very well spent here in our public schools. The best thing that we can do as citizens and residents is really to keep informed of what's going on in our legislation and make sure that we get out and we attend activities such as these to bring our own personal matters, personal in the sense of our village, to our school board and write our senators and leaders and express to them how fundings will impact our local school districts, and then get out there and vote.
Thank you. Ms. Kerlin.
I'm a very big supporter of public schools. I did not send my kids all the way through public school, which might sound the opposite, but I've always voted for levies when they come up. I really believe in supporting a public school. I just had, if you have other agenda for your children, then you send them somewhere else. For high school, my children have gone to Orange. In fact, my youngest is a senior right now at Orange, and I have loved the experience at Orange High School. So that's just the little background on that. I do believe in public schools strongly. I do think it's our job as citizens to be involved, just in general. And it's part of my thing. We were talking about public service. I really believe strongly in public service and in being involved in, if you see something that you think is unjust, speak up. So I don't think that it's Orange Council's job to tell the legislature what to do when it comes to the schools. I think that's more from the schools and from the individuals, frankly, in the community. So I don't, as much as I am a very, very big proponent, in favor of public schools, I don't know that relates specifically to the position on Orange Council, frankly. Although as an individual, like I said, I will always not only support any school levy, I will actively tell people, hey, this is something I think that you should vote for, educate yourself, find out.
Mr. Foster.
Thank you. I moved to Orange because of the public school system. I lived in another community in Cleveland, I will not mention, and a teacher said, your daughter is very bright. You may want to send her to a private school at the time. And we moved here because of the public schools and the diversity and the exposure and the support for my son at the time. I very much believe that information given to the constituents will help motivate them to vote in the right manner. I would help organize and inform them so that we stayed abreast of what was going on.
Thank you. Mr. Boyle.
Well, the answer to this is that the schools in the village are intertwined and need to be, their success is our success, and to ignore that is foolhardy. Not just on the level of educating the residents of this community, but also making it a desirable place to live. I'm a product of the public school system, proud graduate of Cleveland Heights High School. My wife is a proud graduate of Shaker Heights High School. Both of our kids went to public schools all the way through. As you already heard from my wife, I mean, I have the unenviable position of saying, well, if I don't support the schools, I'm going to have a real difficult time at home. But rest assured, I support them regardless of my marital issues beyond that. But also, I mean, when you think about it, yes, it's a huge issue for the public schools in terms of what Columbus is doing in attempting to eliminate the property tax. But some of that money, a significant portion of that money, comes to Orange Village. In 2022, I think it was over $500,000. I mean, we have budgetary issues that our community, the nonsense going on in Columbus impacts us here today. To think that our schools and our communities are not interrelated is not the way that I will choose to serve if I'm elected to the Orange Village Council. I will support them in every endeavor.
Thank you. Another question that came in is, what do you see for the next 3 years in the way of development? And the question talked about both retail, gated communities, and the property over by the Drury Theater. And are there going to be more areas of senior only or different kinds of communities with the little bit of space that it should be developed or not? How do you feel about the development issue? And we'll start with Mr. Foster, please.
The development issue has been a large one and an important one here in Orange. I think some of the things that that require that location are traffic studies to make sure and see how that affects the community. I personally don't think we need that many anymore. That's a beautiful area. That area has been sectioned out, I believe, already for a certain amount for retirees, wetlands, and thus. I don't see any more being built over there at this time, not to my agree. Not to my
Okay,
knowledge.
thank you. Mr. Boyle.
Thank you. The issue of development is a paramount issue in Orange Village, and as a bedroom community, it relishes its title, I think, as a what do we call it? As a community for all generations, and that is something that led most of us, certainly me, to move to this community. With that in mind, the master plan is something, and it is due for an update. It is a living, breathing document, but the master plan recognizes that there is an expectation of development around what are labeled as the fringes of the community. So that was a known development area there where the Omni is going in by the Drury Hotel. The question of whether or not and what that will look like will largely unfold by the voters when they approve voting or zoning regulations, as well as the members of the administration and the village council. I, like Stacy, really became involved in a recent issue with the rezoning of the church property across the street. That was going to be residential. The commercial aspects of it are a little bit different because they will not be wedged in with our residential areas, but we as a community have to make those decisions about which parts of our community we want to be available for commercial development. Residential development will be coming. There are areas in here in the Omni development and also closer towards Chagrin Road at the back end of Pinecrest that will have residential components to it. And those are going to be coming, and that was part of the plan when it was put before the voters and approved by the voters. So we should expect that coming. And I don't think that that's necessarily inconsistent with our vision of what a bedroom community like Orange Village is now and what it will continue to be in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Manila.
Development is inevitable, whether it's residential or retail. I think the key to development, whether it being residential or retail, is to take our time with it and not have too many projects going on at once. The last thing we want to do is see a project that was planned all of a sudden for various reasons unknown stop. And then we're stuck with an unsightly, start of construction, if that should happen. As far as the projects that are going on, I think the village has its hands full in several of them that are going. And I think in a year or two, our village is going to look a little bit different than what we know of it now once these developments are completed, whether they're retail or residential. And so I caution our village and its leaders to plan thoughtfully and wait and see how things kind of turn out before we go ahead and start making plans for other future developments.
You and Ms. Gerlin.
Yeah, development has been a major issue. When I was campaigning 2 years ago for mayor, it was one of the things that was talked about a lot. As Mr. Boyle said, the master plan has always said that the outskirts would be used for more dense development. And a lot of the development that we're seeing now start to gear up is things that were, the zoning was approved by the voters a long time ago. Like Lakes of Orange is still expanding, and that was over 20 years ago. And also with Pinecrest, I don't remember exactly how many years ago, but it was when Pinecrest was approved, the zoning by the voters, that included the residential section, which is closer to Chagrin Boulevard, which is now being talked about for active development. They're ready to move forward soon, I believe. And the only more recent one, of course, is the Omni development over near the Drury. And so these things, the development is going to be whatever was already approved by the voters as far as it's got to fit within that box. But a lot of different things can fit in that box. And it's really up to planning and zoning, but that's with the mayor and with the council overseeing to decide what developments actually fit within that box. So there's definitely development coming. Most of it's residential. By the Drury over there, there is a larger section of it that is for 55 and older. There is also a section there that is for retail. It's not a huge section, it's a smaller section of it. So these things are already set. I'm not for, like I said, we have a lot going on right now. I'm not really for a lot of new projects that are outside of that scope. I'm hoping that we're not going to be changing any more zoning too soon. I don't know what the future holds. We'll see, but not too soon.
You. At this point in time, there are no more questions from the community, so I'm going to ask each of you for a 1-minute summation about your candidacy, and we will start with Mr. Foster.
Oh, thank you. So as a resident of Orange and other communities, I've always tried to make things a little bit better. I've always tried to give more than what I've received. Orange has given me and my family so much that I feel obligated to be a community advocate for this area. The exposure to different cultures, different people, the deer and the turkey in my backyard, all those things make it a place that you want to protect, you want to serve, you want to love. I've had nothing but respect for the people that in Orange, how kind they are, how much they want to help. The little neighborhood that we live in is like nothing else that I've been a part of in my adult life, and I've lived in a lot of places. It's a wonderful community, and I want to help to make it a wonderful community and leave it better than what I found it.
You, Ms. Gerlin.
Oh, yes. I am someone who believes strongly in community service. I have taught my children through example to give back, to give time to make the world around us a better place. I am a problem solver who loves the challenge of identifying an issue and working to resolve it. Both issues and opportunities are discovered through open communication, and I intend to continue to engage the residents as much as possible to learn of individual situations and ideas that might benefit the greater community. I look forward to being afforded the opportunity to work in conjunction with the rest of council, the mayor, and the staff of Orange Village to ensure we preserve both natural spaces and the character of our village, along with bolstering our safety forces and taking care of our seniors. On November 4th, vote to keep our village beautiful, vote to keep our village safe, vote to keep our village prosperous, vote to keep our village the best place to live, vote Kurland for council. Thank you so much.
Ms. Manila.
Goal, if elected to the village council, is to listen, to learn, to lead with transparency and respect all perspectives and bring more neighbors to these meetings. I'm committed to asking questions and seeking expert input to make well-informed decisions. Ordinances must be thoughtfully evaluated not only for their immediate impact physically and financially, but also how they align with our village's master plan. In closing, all 5 of us here sitting before you are capable of being members on council. Whichever individuals are selected by the voters, they must take steps to evaluate the proposals that are set in front of the village council and ask what is being proposed. Is it truly benefit of the village residents sustainably, environmentally, and financially?
Thank you. Mr. Boyle.
Thank you. And on behalf of all of us, I'd like to thank you. You probably have the most difficult job, keeping us under control and on time. Mayor Klein and Anna obviously also put up with a lot of nonsense and I think from all of us, and I appreciate all of your willingness to engage all of us and host us. I thank you for the time to speak to all of you. I, too, am optimistic about the future of this community. I bring a literal lifetime of experience in public service. I truly believe that public service is a noble profession. And I would like to continue that public service on the Orange Village Council. We've got lots of big issues that are on the agenda already. We've got the Omni development. We've got the residential development. We've got the fire station. We've got development, smart development, organized development. We've got to update the charter. We've got to update the master plan. And what we need are leaders that can hit the ground running. And I'm ready to serve, and I'm asking for your vote, and I'm asking for your support in November. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to each and every one of the candidates that are running for each and every one of these offices. Thank you all for coming in person, and for those of you who are watching live stream, an educated voter is the most important voter, and your vote is your voice. Have a wonderful evening.
Mike, I look forward to working with you.
Yeah, thanks. A lot going on.
How would you like
All right. All right. What is this for your scrapbook, or what is this? This is for my scrapbook. Thank you. I didn't know it was on. I didn't want to say anything.